big up blood clot Carl Cox. Bless his heart. You know, he's trying, but I think he's chatting a lot of shit here. It says Carl Cox speaks on the downside of social media culture. He misses the days when artists were to put in the work and develop a strong base of supporters from their local scene. So Carl Cox is upset about social media and thinks people should go back to how it was before, in the 80s, in the 70s, in the 90s. You get me? Oi, 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 oi. So this is Carl Cox saying what he has to say. Let's hear Carl Cox's opinion on why social media is a bad thing for up-and-coming artists.
Social media, it's just made people so lazy now. You know, it's kind of like they don't want to get booked on the premise of working hard. You know, going from club to club, going from wine bar to wine bar, finding an event space, creating something for yourself, the music, the idea, your fan base, all of this which we used to do. We don't do any of that anymore. You know, it's all down to, again, you know, Instagram likes, TikTok likes, all this sort of stuff. You know, you make a record that appeals to a lot of people. They want to see you play that music, and then you know, either go to Tomorrowland, you can go to Time Warp, you can go to all these places, and that's where you're only going to see that person. Where it'd be nice to see that person in your local area and support that person at that particular time. All of it's gone in that way. You know, I still do play smaller venues, you know, because I really want people to still understand where I came from. But of course my public's waiting in all the big events as well, so I end up doing those too. I'll try and have a balance between all of that. But I did my hard work.
Hypocrisy.
I did my hard yards. I know what it's like to tread the boards. And and with that, you know, try and leave some sort of idea that it never came easy by what I'm doing still today, on expectations on what my performance is still like in the end. But my art of performance was truly based on creating something from social media.
Bless Carl Cox, right? Bless Carl Cox, because at least he's speaking. Someone of his level, speaking about any of these type of things in general is a good thing, even if there's not all the way correct, because at least it's bringing some attention to it. And he's speaking about this in the open and the sparking debate, and this debate may lead to some change in the end. But fundamentally, he's chatting shit. In my opinion, he's chatting absolute shit. Because yes, it would be beneficial if DJs had the ability to perform at different wine bars. What the fuck is a wine bar, by the way? You know, name me a wine bar in London that hires a fucking DJ. They don't, right? They just play fucking things off of Spotify. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Anyway, whatever. But it would be good if there was opportunity for DJs to perform in wine bars, aka I guess smaller venues, smaller clubs, and get their experience that way by playing in front of real life people, honing their craft, maybe, you know, cultivating a following, a fan base, and going from there. But unfortunately, the reason why they don't do that, or they can't do that, is because there's not many clubs available to play at. London being a good example. If you wanted to start your DJ career right now in London, you couldn't really just go and play in a club off the bat. Maybe you could, by luck, if you happen to email the right person. But if you wanted to start right now, the only way to start would be to maybe do your own rave, or to become popular enough on social media that you can then use those numbers to get you into certain clubs. Because you can say, hey, I've got this type of following. Here's my plays. Here's my following on social media. Here's my views on YouTube. Then you can use it to maybe bargain of how to play in certain places. But if you just want to start from scratch, it's pretty difficult too, because there's not a lot of clubs that will be able to accommodate you because of your level. And the ones that are available only want to book people at a certain level to make it make sense, because they have loads of fucking cost in terms of running the space. So the scene is a bit broken in that regard, which is why a lot of people are doing their own nights and trying to book their friends, but then offset their friends with headliners to make it work. A good example is what we saw with Tech Couture, right? With Tech Couture, I'd imagine, if I'm not mistaken, Tech Couture might know Blasha and Alat. They might. I'm not too sure if they do. But they might know Blasha and Alat. But likely, the headliners are Blasha, Alat, Carmen Electra, and D Dan, who they don't know. And then the rest of the lineup are probably what you deem to be like friends and family. That's what you have to do now. You can't have these people, Mac Deklos, Melati, Lakshi, River, and Tikra. They can't all play their own lineup without Blasha, Carmen Electra, and D Dan. You kind of have to sell the lineup with those three headliners, and then kind of fill it in with those other guys. And those other guys and girls and whatever else in between, they may be better or on the same level as these headliners, but they don't play because there's no space for them to play, no clubs that would give them a chance. They want to have the main headliners to guarantee money at the door, to guarantee fucking bar spend with drinks and shit, and people taking lockers, whatever it may be. That's the annoying part of the scene at the moment. So you can't have people bouncing around. So people have to make it work by doing this like weird thing where they're like playing on fucking TikTok or on Instagram and making themselves social media famous and hoping they could use the social media fame to sort of get them in other rooms. Now, the problem with that for the raver is that you get a bunch of people playing at levels that they probably don't deserve or aren't good enough to play at because they're just playing there based on numbers. You know, that's the problem. So you get, because no DJ, no matter how long you've been, no matter how short you've been in the scene, no matter if you've been playing for 6 months, if somebody offers you the opportunity to play in a club, you're going to take it. But then when you go there, you might not be ready. So you're now playing at a place you're probably not ready to play at yet, but you're only playing there because you got numbers on social. But then the numbers on social actually equate real life people anyway. I don't know if they do. But you are, and then you go and play, you don't make a good impression, you clear the dance floor, people start complaining in the comments, maybe you get DMs from people saying, oh, that was fucking shit, don't book he or she or they again, and then your career is fucking already over before it started. And you already got a bad reputation out there, which is hard to kind of fucking recover. So the issue is mostly lack of clubs, which again goes back to what I said before. Carl Cox is one of the biggest DJs to come out of the scene and to come out of England. He's probably, you know, again, not to count his pockets, but I'd imagine he's probably okay for money. Why does he open his own club? Why doesn't he open a grassroots club somewhere, maybe where he's from, maybe where he lives, that DJs could play at, that could maybe offer that option for DJs to go and play from place to place? That maybe had a night that could maybe focus on highlighting people coming up and shit. That's also an option, but they don't do that. So people like myself that don't really have much power or influence complain and shout and complain. People like Carl Cox who are in the industry, legends, made all the money, superstars, they complain, but they don't do nothing. The government, especially in the UK, the anti-fund, they don't give a shit, they don't do nothing. So we're a bit of an impasse. Everyone's just shouting, me, myself included, but no one's actually doing anything, you know? So the ones that are doing something are the DJs trying to, you know, play games and live stream and do TikTok because they want to make it. I get it. I don't bemoan over doing so because the industry has changed. So he's a bit detached from reality. There are no wine bars anymore. If he means wine bar in terms of capacity, there's not a lot of places like 200 capacity max clubs where people can hone their craft. It doesn't exist. So people have to get out of the mud. They have to do what DJ AG is doing and play out in the street, basically DJ busking. They have to maybe send 100 fucking mixes over to clubs, hope somebody opens it. They have to maybe set up their own nights, but then have to invest all their fucking paycheck from their job to do the night. Like, it's a bit of a madness, but people are doing what they can with the resources that are available. I don't think it's fair to like say, oh yeah, they're not doing enough. They're not working hard. No, they're working harder, in my opinion. They're working way harder because doing all that stuff on social media is a fucking nightmare. Trust me, I know. Like, it's a lot of work to clip yourself, to record certain things, get it in a particular focal frame, put it out on social, the right caption, hashtags, put some money behind the spend, record constantly, do live streams, upload mixes on SoundCloud, send fucking proposals over to clubs, try and get booked. Like, it's a bit of a ball ache. And it all comes down to numbers, really. It's not really how good you are. Do you have the numbers to back up your chat? Yes or no? If you don't, you're not playing. Because there's not a lot of clubs available, and the ones that are available need to make the money. So Carl Cox, unfortunately, is chatting shit here, but I do appreciate that at least he's talking about this sort of stuff, hopefully. And again, in his very grand, it looks like a palace he lives in. I love the backdrop. Not a lot of wine bars, bro. That house you're in probably has 10 wine bars in it, you know? Like, big up blood clot Carl Cox. Big up